myself Santhosh, and currently I'm working as manager in Microsoft, taking training for KSR for the last 5 years.
In the last class, we were talking about SQL, the first topic that we are going to learn as part of our roadmap. And in SQL, I've clearly told you the only one language where you can get communicated with your database is SQL. And with that, the most important thing which I've covered is why it is important. Why it is important. There are many other technologies in the market. Why it is important. And for that, I have given you two use cases. One is we talked about OLAP and one is we talked about OLTP. And these are two things which we have discussed. And for these two things, I have given you an example. One is ATM transaction, or you're sending a money to someone. It acts like an online transaction. The transaction should get affected within seconds. Okay. And if you're talking about the another one, it can happen slowly, 2 days, 3 days, 4 days. The best example is Netflix. The way you watch the movies, they'll recommend the movies. And the other one is the Amazon. You keep adding to the cart, they understand what you're doing, and based on that, they'll give you offers, discounts. And I've also given you an open challenge to you, how you can understand about the analysis here. With that, let's move forward. Let's see some difference between OLAP and OLTP. If you take about the volume, in OLTP, you go to ATM, even you go to ATM for 10 times, the transaction will be handled 10 times, right? If you go at 1 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, every time you go and do a transactions, all these transactions will be recorded, entered. That's the property of OLTP. But if you go with the OLAP, they have some complex queries. What is this complex queries? How many times he has added to the cart? How many times he has removed from the cart, how many times he has browsed the product, how many times he has seen the features, how many times he has seen the review. Oh my God, it's a complex analysis, right? Now, if you want to get response in ATM, it has to be within milliseconds. The moment you enter your PIN, the moment you get the amount, the next second, your data should be updated. How it is possible? That is possible only with OLTP. And all the transactions will happen in milliseconds. But if you talk about this, they can even take minutes, they can even take hours, and they can even take days, because they have to analyze what you're doing. It could be a Netflix or it could be Amazon. They'll monitor for 1 day, they'll monitor for 2 days, they'll monitor for 3 days. All this they'll try to check it. And this is a very simple queries, and this will be a complex queries. So each record is called as a transaction here. You update, you go, you take out some money, it's a transaction, right? So each and every record is going to be a transaction, whereas here it is going to be aggregated. What is aggregated? Total amount of time spent on the app, total amount of time spent on this product, total number of times added to the cart, total number of times removed from the cart. You're doing some aggregations, and that is what this aggregation as well. And finally, if you see purpose, it's basically a very straightforward. For a real-time transactions, you can go with OLTP, whereas OLAP, they're going to understand your activities, and based on that, they are going to make some decisions. What type of decisions? Well, I can have some discounts, cashbacks, offers, all this comes under the purpose. With this characteristics of OLAP and OLTP, let's move forward. Around 45% of the data are coming from OLTP. The reason is everything is a real-time transaction. You go to a shop, you buy something, it's a real-time transaction. You go to ATM, you take out the amount, real-time transaction. You send money to someone, real-time transactions. Around 45% of all of the data that we are going to get will be from OLTP. And there is actually some people saying that SQL is dying. There are other new technologies coming in. Okay, but I'll tell you, it's almost 50 years. Still SQL has not lost its fragrance. Reason? Because of its high transaction speed. No one can ever replace. There is no other animal who can beat cheetah, right? There is no other creature who can beat cheetah. Similarly, there is no other technology which can beat the speed of SQL. And that's why even after 50 years, this is still in demand. And most of the data engineers, data analysts, or data scientists, whomever you take, most of them are using SQL for their purpose. Now, okay, we are talking about SQL. SQL is a language. We are going to learn language, but you have to speak to someone, right? You have to speak to someone, right? So for that, we have database in the market. Just I've told you a pen drive. A pen drive is a device which is used to store the data. We have different brands of pen drive: Sony pen drive, Transcend pen drive, SanDisk pen drive, Samsung pen drive. Like that, we also have database different brand. One is Postgres, one is IBM, one is DB2, Oracle, MySQL, and Microsoft SQL Server. There are different databases in the market. I've just picked out 5, but there are so many databases in the market, and you can go and communicate to any of the database. If you want to talk to Oracle, Oracle is a database. If you want to talk to Oracle, you have to know SQL. If you want to talk to IBM database, you have to know SQL. If you want to talk to Microsoft SQL Server, you have to know the language SQL. If you want to talk to Postgres, you have to know SQL. So for communicating to any database, the one and only language which you should know is SQL. Okay, now carefully listen. Forget about data engineering. Forget about SQL. I'll give one small use case. I will give one small use case. Imagine that this is a computer science class. This is not a data engineering class. This is a computer science class. In the computer science class, the first day you join to a computer science class, what they will teach? They will teach what is monitor, what is CPU, what is a full form of CPU, mouse, keyboard, motherboard, RAM, hard disk, everything they will teach, right? The first day of your computer science class, they will teach everything. Now imagine you people have all joined computer science class, not a data engineering or not a SQL class. You have all joined a computer science class now. In the computer science class, I will be teaching how to use pen drive. How to use pen drive. I'll be teaching how to use pen drive. Okay, now let's start the session. Let's learn how to use pen drive. First, you have to get the pen drive. It could be a 16 GB pen drive, 64 GB pen drive, or it could be 32 GB pen drive. It will be in 8 multiples. And with that pen drive, if you have a cap, you open it. And in your computer, in your CPU, there will be something called USB port. It'll be like USB 2.0, USB 3.0. You will have multiple ports. You will have either in front of the system or at the backside of the system. So just plug in this pen drive to that port. Immediately port in the right side corner, you will be getting a notification. A new device has been inserted. Then you go to the My Computer. In the My Computer, you will be able to see the pen drive name. Open it, create folders, copy paste it, add images, documents, photos, videos, audios, documents, everything you uploaded. And the most important thing is, while you are removing your pen drive, you have to always go and do a safe eject. Right click, do a eject, and then only you have to plug in. The class is done. How to use pen drive? The class is done. Okay, but in my class, when I was teaching, I was explaining with Sony pen drive. I took a Sony pen drive, I plugged in, I showed you, I explained. Tomorrow, you go to a company, they are using Samsung pen drive. Will you come back and shout on KSR saying that you people did not teach me how to use Samsung pen drive?
No, sir.
Why? I have teach you Sony pen drive, how to use Sony pen drive, but in your company, they're using Samsung pen drive. Will you come back and fight with me saying that why you did not teach how to use Samsung pen drive? Are you going to shout at me? The process is same. Whether you're using Samsung pen drive, whether you're using Sony pen drive, the process is same. Only the name is changing. Only the brand is changing. With that, I am going to teach you in our course. I'm going to teach you MySQL database. We need a database to communicate. See, I'm teaching you English. For speaking English, you need someone to speak, right? If no one is there, what is the purpose of learning English? So you need someone. Similarly, today I'm learning SQL. The reason why I'm learning SQL is I can go and talk to any database. But if you ask me, which is a database that we are going to learn in our class, it's going to be MySQL. Now, tomorrow, will you come and fight with me? No, I got into IBM company. IBM company will use their own database. So they are using their own product. Will you come and fight with me and say that why you did not teach IBM database? Will you? Why you will not come back and ask me? you use any database, the syntax and the SQL queries is going to be same. But I need to also accept the fact that not 100% is going to be same. 95 to 96% of all the database syntax will be same. For example, today I'm speaking in English. Let's say 8 to 9 o'clock I'm speaking to you all. I speak in a very normal English. 10 o'clock I have another class where I'll be taking to US people. So my face or my my voice or the way I speak will change. And after that, I have office meeting. So I have to speak to my clients in a different tone, right? English is same, but the way where I speak matters. The same way, whether you are using SQL in this database or you're using SQL in that database or in that database, it all is same. Small changes will be there, but that's fine. Let's focus on 95% and let's not think about 5%. With that, let me choose MySQL database as the database that we are going to use as part of our implementation. Okay, you need one database. With that database, we are going to practice our SQL. SQL is a language, and again I'm repeating, the focus of this course is on language, not on the tool, right? Not on the tool. If you have any other database which is already installed, that's fine, you can still use it. But in the class, we are going to implement all the SQL queries with the database, which is going to be MySQL. Now I need to also tell you why I have choose this. Okay, this looks some design. This looks like an elephant. Red color. Red color means danger. This looks like a dolphin. Since it's looking like a dolphin, I have chosen MySQL. Did I justify why I'm using this? I like dolphin, that's why I'm using this. I like dolphin, that is why I have choose this database. Is it fine, or you want me to give me more reasons? Tell me, did I justify why I'm teaching MySQL? To give more context on why I have choose this MySQL databases, it's a open source. When I say open source, anyone can download in their laptop machines and they can start using it. We don't have any licensed. If you're going with anything called IBM, IBM is a well-known company. They come up with some license. Oracle comes with some license. Microsoft comes with a license. Whereas MySQL, it doesn't come with any license. You can use it for your development purpose as well. See, licensing is there, but it is also open source. When I say open source, anyone can download, anyone can use it. And the one more reason why I have choose this database is, if you can see right side of your screen, Facebook, LinkedIn, PayPal, Adobe, or NASA, even these people are using this type of databases for their projects, for their company. And that is the one reason why we have chosen MySQL. And it has highly configurable cross-platform. If you want to install in your Windows machine, possible. If you want to install in your Mac machine, possible. Ubuntu machine, possible. Everything is possible. Very easy to use. And they also come up with the high security. All these reasons are why I am using MySQL. And there is no hard and fast rule that why I'm using it, because the purpose is to learn language. But initial few days, we will try to install this database in our machine, and then we will start working. By end of this course, at the 100th day, today is the 4th day, right? 100th day, we will be completing the sessions. Okay, we will have 100 sessions that we will be learning for data engineering. And in this, one thing which you need to focus is, the purpose is to install now, but in future, everything we are going to use it in the cloud. Today, I want you to understand the pain of installing in your machine and working, but in the future, everything will be in the cloud. I've already told you why we are going with cloud, right? I cannot use 10 systems. My KSR data is going for 10 terabyte. I cannot use 10 laptops. I need to go for one cloud, and that cloud which I'm going will be either AWS or Azure or GCP. For our course, we are using Azure, and for Azure, we are going to implement everything in the cloud only. But initially, since you're all beginner, I want everyone to install this, and then I want you to practice this. Okay, with that, let's see how to install the database. And I request everyone to install before coming to the next class. Okay, so where can we download? we can download MySQL from this official website. Just go and click this official website. You will be automatically be taken to this. Okay. And to give more context, I've also given you some installation steps. Please follow this installation steps. This installation steps will definitely help you to download and install your MySQL. Okay. So just follow this. Go to Google, search MySQL download for Windows machine. If it's a Windows, if it's a Mac machine, search for Mac. Click the first link, download MySQL installer. Just click that and you will be given a two options. You will be given a two options. One with a very low space, that is 24.5 MB, and one you will be getting 247.6 MB. I have installed long back. I think I've installed in 2020. So in 2020, 8.0.12 version was the latest one. But now you will have, I think you will have around 8.6, I guess. Let's try that. MySQL download 8.034, I guess. So when I am downloading now, it's 8.034. But when I have installed, it was 8.021. Just the version change, nothing else. Okay. So please go here and you have to download this one. Now it's recommended that which one to download. Should I go with this or should I go with this? I'll give an example for this. How many of you have used Facebook? Almost everyone, right? Almost everyone. Now, whenever you're using Facebook, you will have either an app or you can use it on the browser itself. In your mobile only, you can use it in the browser, correct? What is the difference? Facebook app versus Facebook browser. Okay, but still you can log in with browser, right? Now, if I'm talking about a browser and an app, your app will be installed in your mobile utilizing your space. Whereas mobile browser, directly you can log into the web and you can use it. In order to install your MySQL, you need minimum of i5 configuration. i5 configuration, minimum of 8 GB RAM should be enough in order to install this MySQL. People who are like not having a i5 system, don't go and buy a new system. Not required. You can go and install a basic web version. So if you're installing a basic web version, you can still go and write your SQL code. Okay. But I would recommend you to install this. The reason is I want you to get the pain of using your on-premises first. On-premises is basically when you are using your own servers, systems, laptops, machines. These are all called on-prem. The main purpose of itself going with the data engineering is moving all the on-prem data into the cloud. So I want everyone to go and install on-premises. That is, you have to install your app version. So please go and download this. Please go and download this. And the moment you download this, it is going to ask you to log in or sign up. Unless and until you want some updates, you can please go and say, no thanks, just start my download. And automatically you can see that the download will happen. Okay. It is a 330 MB and the installer file will be installed, which is going to be the MSI file. Okay. With that, you please click this. And once you click this, the download is going to happen. And in fact, since I was very much interested to know the updates, I have created an account. For your case, you need not do anything. Just go and say, no, thanks, just start my download. And once you download, this file will be installed, MySQL installer, and it will be present in your downloads. After downloads, go to a F drive or any drive, create a folder called software. In that, you actually create MySQL. This is a practice which I do, and it's up to your wish. However you want, you can store it. I usually have many folders under software. Whatever the softwares which I am installing, I'll try to maintain the folder structure. I'll try to maintain. Copy that MSI file into this folder, and this file you need to run it. That's all. You need to run it. Okay. Now, very easy installation. Unless and until your system is too old, you will not face any issue. Directly go and install. Just follow this document. The document will be shared. And also we do have in our YouTube channel itself, we do have how to install MySQL. You can just get through it. Everything is easy. You just need to follow step-by-step process. So if you double click this, it will start the installation steps, and the installation steps is starting. And every step I've taken the snapshot, and here this is a first screen you will be able to see. developer default, server only, client only, full and custom. Now I am actually installing this database not to work for a company. I am installing this database to learn SQL. For learning SQL, I need a database. For that only I'm installing. So please go with developer version. By chance, in the latest versions, if you don't see developer, you please go to custom. You please go to custom. Don't use server only, client only, and full. These are all space consuming. Your entire laptop spaces will be consumed. If you're going for a full, the entire full system will be utilized because it assumes that you're going to build one project, one complete KSR application you're going to build. For that, you can go with full. But we are not going to build any application here. We are going to utilize only for learning purpose. So it's recommended to use developer. If you don't have this developer default, don't get worried. Just go to custom. So if you go and see custom, in the custom, you choose which database you want to install, and that should be straightforward. And once you choose this, go and click next. Once you click the next, you will be asked, there are certain applications, there are certain tools that has to be installed before installing the complete MySQL. So you please go and click execute. Now, in order to use your MySQL database, there is some prerequisite softwares that has to be applicable in your system. Directly, if you are installing, if it's a new laptop, fine. If it's an old laptop, it will ask some prerequisite softwares to get installed. So I'll go and give execute. If I give execute, it will run every step, run one by one, and it will tell which is not present in your system. In my machine, before installing this MySQL, it is saying that I don't have something called Visual Studio, that is Microsoft Visual C++. This software I don't have. You need not go to Google and install it again and come back. Automatically, it will show you a pop-up. You first install this. This is not MySQL installation. In order to install this MySQL, you need a prerequisite software. Maybe this is not there in, for me, it is asking. For you, if it is there, it will not ask. So don't get worried too much. This is a prerequisite software that has to be present in order to install your MySQL. In my machine, it's not there. My machine was an old machine. So it is asking to install. Directly you install this. So it is getting installed. This is not MySQL installation. This is prerequisites for MySQL installation. Click it and set up successfully. Then I will install again, which is nothing but Visual Studio. Again, it is getting installed. Now Visual Studio is also installed. So one is Microsoft C++ and one is Visual Studio. Both were not present in my system. Pop-up only it has asked, and I've installed it. After installing, it will go and tick mark everything. And Visual Studio is one thing which was manually I installed. After this, please go to next. The moment you click next, all these are components. It will take minimum 15 to 20 minutes in order to run this. So please go and give install, that is execute. So if you give execute, one by one, everything will get installed. SQL Server, Workbench, Excel, Shell, Router, ODBC connections, everything will get installed. So I've taken snapshots for every installation. It will take some 15-20 minutes. So please go step by step. Complete. Four things are complete. Fifth one is in progress. 7 things are complete, 8th one is in progress, and everything is incomplete. Everything you have to see green. 1 or 2, if you are seeing cross mark, never mind, you still go to the next step. As you go to the next step, now they are going to configure the product, that is the entire MySQL server will be installed. Again, go to next. And don't do any changes. You're not going to work with anyone. You're going to work along individually in your own system. So please choose standalone only. Don't choose anything else. Go with the standalone. Go to next. And once you go come to this screen, don't do anything. You still go and click next. Make sure that it is present in developer computer. Obviously, it will be the default option. Just go to next. And the moment you click next, now it will ask you to authenticate before logging into database, because database is a place where you will be storing the sensitive information about your business, credentials, customers details, sales details. All this will be stored. So it is asking a password. So you please go and use a password and you click next. And you have to enter a password. Please keep as simple as possible. If you forget the password, there is a long process again. And sometimes there is required to uninstall it and install it. All the circus is not required. Keep it very simple. It's your system, your laptop, your desktop, your database. Keep it very simple. And then you can go with next. After giving the root password and repeat password, go to next, and don't do any changes. Go to next and go to execute. This is the last few steps, and all these steps will be again run one by one. If you click this execute, 1, 2, 3 is kicked, and another 4 will be ticked, and post that you will be showing a finish button. So the configuration of MySQL Server 8.0.21 was successfully installed. And after this, please go to the next, the last step. And here it will ask you the password. Couple of slides back, what password you have kept, you have to enter that password and you have to give a check. If you're entering the right password, it will be connected successfully. And then you click next. And finally, the last step is to click the execute button, and it is a finish. Installation complete. And if you check this, it will show you in your desktop shortcut. And once you have installed, to confirm, a black prompt will be open. Immediately you can close it. And after that, this is what will be the software. Welcome to MySQL Workbench will be the software. This software is where we will start writing our code. We are going to write code in this workbench. Workbench is a place where you are going to write all your SQL code. After installation, you will be seeing this dolphin symbol. You'll be seeing this dolphin symbol. You go and search here MySQL, and this is a MySQL Workbench. This is a dolphin symbol. You just need to click this, and automatically it will open you this welcome to MySQL Workbench. Now this is where I will be going and writing the code. This is where I'll be writing the code, right? So this is where we will be working our SQL code. Again, I'm repeating, installation is completely easy. Like, you need to just follow the process. If you don't know, please refer the document. You should be able to install. And by chance, if you have any other database in your system, never mind, you can still use it. But since we are learning everything from scratch, if you can follow our classes, if you can just install according to our class what we are learning, we will be learning step by step. You will not be having any confusion. Okay, so this is a software. Before coming to the next class, I want each and everyone to get this installed. We do also have a video in our YouTube channel how to install MySQL. Please do see that. If not, you can watch this recording again. Go slow, step by step, install it. Very easy installation. Very easy installation. Are we good? Any questions? Okay. With that, after downloading this, you will be going to this one. You'll be installing this, and you will be using this MySQL Workbench. Now, MySQL Workbench is a SQL editor where we can go and write our code. We can do all the data cleaning, database objects, and security. Everything you can do it. And it is also applicable in all of your OS. Okay, when it is available in your Mac OS, it is available in your Windows machine. And the moment you open your MySQL, this is how it will be showing. The window will be showing like this. Okay, I repeat how the window will show like. Let me show you. I'll go and open this. I'll open MySQL. So this is how it is. Okay, and you have to log in. It will ask you the password. The password which you kept while installing, you need to give that. I'll give that, and automatically it will open this. Now this is how it looks like. First time when you open, this is what it looks like. White blank screen. Oh, what is this? Now where will I go and write the code? Where will I go and see the result? Where will I go and ask the question? I told you what is database. Database is a place where you're storing the records. Now how can I go and ask questions? If you go and ask in English, it's not going to answer. You have to ask in SQL. Now in this editor, where will I write the code? Where will I see the results? Right? Now that's the question which we have. For that, the exact same window I have shown in the PPT. This space is there, right? This white space. This space is where you will be writing your SQL code. This place is where you will be writing your SQL code. So if you write the SQL code here, you ask the database questions. What happened this year? What happened that year? And immediately just below this, you will be getting the results. Here you will be writing the code, which is called a code editor. And immediately in the below, you will be able to get the results. And of course, you take any editor, whatever commands you are running, whatever queries you are running, it will be shown as part of history. The history comments will be displayed. For example, from morning to evening, what are the queries I'm writing? That will be displayed in the history, right? Now, we have another window which is called help panel. We have another window which is called help panel. I don't know why they have kept this. We have Google, we have ChatGPT, we have Bard, we have many tools to go and see the syntax. I don't know why they have kept this. This part is actually a help panel. So help panel, you can directly go and see the syntax if you don't understand. For example, I don't know what is mean by select, and it will give you the select statement. And if I don't know what is this update, it will give you the update statement syntax. And if I don't know what is this delete, delete will give you the syntax. For you people, this is not required. Why? For you people, this help command is not required. Why? I am going to be your help command. Any syntax, anything, I am going to teach you. So for you, this is not required. You simply go and click this last icon. That help panel will disappear, so that I will get lot of space for writing the code. This L command is not required. And even if I am not there, you can easily get it from Google also. This is not that user friendly. Simply for the sake of giving it, they have given the syntax tab, that is help panel. You need not use it. So you can simply go and click this. Automatically it will disappear. So you will get enough space for writing your code. Okay. Now with that, this help panel is not required. And here you will have a objects. So when I say objects, there could be many database, many tables, right? If I talk about a one project, in my project, there could be many database. So all the database details I will be able to see here. Object browser. If I go and show in my systems here, I have worked with many projects: Amazon, Flipkart, eBay, retail, Walmart, YouTube, Snapdeal. I work with so many databases. I work with so many projects. All this you will be seeing here, which is called object browser. So where will I write the code? I will go and write the code here. I will go and write the code here. Okay. And if I speak in English, it's not going to understand. I have to speak in a language. That language is going to be SQL. So tomorrow, before you coming to the class, this window has to be present. Is it clear? Wherever you are, whichever community you belong to, whether you have reached us to WhatsApp or you reached us to any other, where we will be sharing this installation steps, please install before coming to the next class. Right from Google search, what you need to follow, everything I've mentioned. With that, we will end our PPT. Going forward, everything I'm going to work in this editor only. With that, we are going to work only with this editor. Okay, we are done with the theory subjects. First 2 days, we talked about why data engineering. The next 2 days, we have talked about why SQL first. And tomorrow onwards, we are going to start the practical classes. Is it clear? Okay. As a KSR promise, the first 5 days will be free sessions. We have completed 4 sessions as of today. Tomorrow will be the 5th and last session. So try to understand, go back, do your do your homework, start researching about data engineering. If this is a right technology, and first initial 2 days, I've given you complete in and out of what is data engineering. Go back, and our videos is also present in YouTube. Please go and see it. Try to understand the subject. Please join the course only if you are able to understand what I'm speaking. For the last 4 days, whatever I've told, if you have understood, only then you join the course, right? That's only one request from my end. Data engineering is a top skill in the market, but where you learn also matters. You can even learn in Google, you can even learn in YouTube, you can even learn in institutes, you can even learn from anyone. But the first thing which you need to understand is, am I understanding the subject? Am I able to follow? If these two things are there, then you can join the course. So you still have 1 day time. Go back and see all the recordings and then decide if this is the right institute for you. Okay, I'll stop here.